right there!
What is up, you guys? This is All Day Any Day 1 on the PS4, and I'm going to be giving you another Assassin's Creed Odyssey build video. And with this build video, it's going to be for the pirate set. And this is basically the second version of the Assassins, or the true Assassin build that I created earlier. So with that earlier set, or earlier build, was based all around the Pilgrim set. Now with the pirate set, it's pretty much the same a little with the main damage and whatnot, but the thing is, with the pirate set, I went with more of a crit build on this, because everything you can pretty much have up to a total of 30% crit chance, because you're always going to be at full health no matter what. Now you'll get 10% crit chance while at full health from your hood, another 10% from your boots, and then you get 5% from your waist. And that 5% is just going to be automatic the whole time. Now, for the third perks, for the ones that you can choose, you can insert. I put 25% crit damage on the hood, and then 5% crit chance on the gloves. So you're actually looking at 30% because of so 5% crit chance for the gloves, and then 25% crit damage on the torso, 2% all damage. So it would be better if you can get it all the way up to 5%, but all damage is gonna help regardless, because it's also boosting all your damage. So your hunter, warrior, and assassin damage. And then for the legs, I'd put the 40% or minus 40% adrenaline consumed by Shadow of Nyx ability. So you get that from the Pilgrim set, which I had already put on. I made a video showing each location for this set, as well as showing you guys the builds that I have for the Pilgrim set as well. And for the weapons, I have the Dagger of Cronus and the Greek Hello. Now, if you don't want to purchase the Greek Hello, or if you are not getting lucky at the special vendor when you have to use the Oraculum cores or ores on him, because he gives you a chance of obtaining legendaries that you can even get in the Helix store. But if you don't have the Greek Hello, then you can always go with the Sword of Damocles. So with the Sword of Damocles, it's going to give you 15% warrior damage, so it's not necessarily going to be beneficial assassin wise, but you do get 20% adrenaline per crit, and while you have 30% crit chance, that's actually going to be a pretty big deal, especially when you're mainly using daggers anyways. And then you also get plus 10% to all adrenaline gained, and that plus 10% to all adrenaline gained is throughout everything. It's not just for using the sword. You obviously need the sword equipped, but you don't have to be using it. You don't have to be attacking enemies with the Sword of Damocles in order to get that 10% to all adrenaline gain, as well as that 15% all damage, but you lose 15% health. That one you get from the Greek Hello. So these two I basically have, like, they're pretty much the same, except the Greek Hello you get 25% crit damage as well as assassin damage, which is why I'm using it for my build. And then the Dagger of Cronus, you get 15% warrior damage, but you also get 15% damage with daggers. And then you also get 40% damage when attacking from behind. Now, I don't necessarily know if the assassin damage or the assassinations count towards the 40% damage when attacking from behind, because you generally do go behind the enemy when you assassinate them, but I don't know if this would apply to that. I don't know if it's just your basic attacks with that, or maybe it's just all types of damage including assassin damage, which if it is, then obviously this is going to be the best option. And then I also put the 100% damage on my Dagger of Cronus, but health is also capped to 25%, which does make it a little risky, but it makes it very, very reliable. Not reliable, but viable for an assassin build, because as an assassin, your main purpose is to not get caught and kill from the shadows. And you get that perk, you get that engrave from the Falx of Olympos. And Falx of Olympos is going to be found on right in between Thera and Anapfi, kind of up northern of them, so it's going to be around here. at the Palace of Ampharite. So once you go here, there's going to be 3 treasures, and it's going to be in one of the 3 treasures for you. So when you find it, you'll end up getting it, and then you'll have that engrave, which is a very good engrave for both a hunter and an assassin build. Now for the bow, I have Toxarko's Reflex Bow. So the Toxarko's Reflex Bow, I have warrior damage as its primary, 5% all damage, 5% crit chance, and 10% assassin damage. This would have been a lot better if the assassin was switched with the warrior, so that way I get more assassin damage, but I'm not too worried about it. Unfortunately, you cannot get crit damage, so I wasn't able to get the crit damage, and I wouldn't have been able to get crit damage anyways. And a lot of people were saying that the 100% damage engrave works on multiple weapons, and it actually doesn't, because I tried. What would happen is it would change all of your stats higher, but when you back out of your inventory and then you look back, your stats go back to normal. So it really doesn't apply at all. And now on the abilities, it's pretty much exactly the same as the pirate set, or I mean the pilgrim set abilities. So you're still gonna go with all of your overpowers pretty much maxed out, or not overpowers, but whatever these last, I guess, quote unquote signatures are gonna be maxed out. So with the warrior abilities, if you only have enough points for right now, I would go with assassin first. So you're gonna go with stealth master and shadow assassin. Those are gonna be the first 2 you're gonna go for. And then after, you're going to end up going with Rush Assassination. So Rush Assassination is going to be very, very, very useful, because you can pretty much kill up to 4 enemies at a time with this ability. When you kill one enemy, or even if you just use the Rush Assassination on one enemy when it's maxed out, you'll have the option to chain it to another enemy, and then you can chain it to the second enemy, and then you can chain it to the third enemy. So that allows you to kill up to 4 enemies with one ability. And then you also end up going for Hero Strike. So with Hero Strike, it's pretty much another assassination type of ability, but you don't need to be out of combat in order to use this. Unfortunately for Rush Assassination, you need to be out of combat, as well as the Shadow of Nyx and the Call to Arms. All 3 of those abilities requires you to be out of combat. So that's the only downfall about those 3 abilities. But with Hero Strike and Vanish, you can use these out of combat and in of combat. So with Hero Strike, you'll do 100% assassin damage, which is really good, especially with 140,000 assassin damage. And then Vanish is going to be very useful, because with Vanish, if there's a few enemies near you, all you have to do is just use this, and then you can Call to Arms, or you can go straight into Shadow of Nyx. Doesn't really matter. Or you can use Rush Assassination. As long as you're not seen by anyone that wasn't affected by Vanish, you can use those abilities. If you were caught, if someone does see you, you would just have to run away and try to find somewhere to hide, so then you can use these assassination abilities. And now for your perks, you have, or your other abilities in the warrior tree, you're going to go straight up, starting from Weapons Master, Gear Master, Overpower Attacks, and Battle Cry of Ares. So you're going to get these maxed out. You're not going to worry about getting the Sparta Kick or Charge or Shield Breaker or Ring of Chaos, because, I mean, it's not going to really apply to you for right now. If you have enough points, then I would recommend going for something like Shield Breaker or Sparta Kick. Probably not Shield Breaker, because actually Hero Strike will allow you to hit enemies while they have a shield. So Sparta Kick would be useful, or Ring of Chaos would actually be really useful, due to the fact that if you get it maxed out, you can push enemies away. But the only ability you're going to be going for in the warrior tree, or other than the Battle Cry of Ares, you're going to go with Second Wind. The reason why you're going to go with Second Wind is not necessarily because you're going to get that max 50% of your health back, but because you're going to be able to rinse off the fire or poison effects that get applied to you, just in case that those do get applied to you. So having that is going to help a lot. Now, obviously, you're going to have a very low amount. You're only going to have a quarter of what your max health is. So when using Second Wind, it's only going to heal 50% of that quarter. So it's not a lot at all. So don't rely on this to heal you. Obviously, you will have to use it if you do need to heal yourself, but most of the time you're not going to get caught anyways. So, yeah, and then you'll also have charged heavy attack just in case, you see the enemy on the floor or whatever, and none of your abilities are available because your adrenaline is low or something. You have the charged heavy attack, which is not bad because it does a good amount of damage and it's reduced as well, the duration when you get it maxed out. And the last tree is going to be the hunter tree. So you're going to go from the archery master, you're going to get that completely maxed out to get a higher amount of damage for your bow, as well as having 40% more damage for your headshots. And also you won't consume any arrows, regular arrows, whenever you use abilities like Devastating Shot or the Ghost Arrows of Artemis. Next, you're going to put 1 point into Overpowered Bow Strike. The reason why is because you're not going to be focusing at all on the Overpowered Bow Strike at all. You're just using it just so that way you can unlock Ghost Arrows of Artemis. So with Ghost Arrows of Artemis, this is going to be very crucial, not crucial, but very useful for an assassin, because you can stay into stealth and kill an enemy that's behind the wall, which is going to be pretty much one of the most amazing. It's one of the most amazing abilities in my opinion. I really love this ability. And then you also have Devastating Shot, so whenever you are in combat and you are being chased by one enemy or two, you can just go ahead and use Devastating Shot and it'll do a lot of damage, and you'll still have a solid amount of hunter damage anyways. You'll have about 11,000 hunter damage, or 10,000 and higher, or maybe a little less, who knows, wherever you're at. And then Sixth Sense is what I went with for my last perk, because with Sixth Sense, it's not only useful for hunters, but it's useful for assassins as well. So when you get caught, if you're walking around and you get caught, all you have to do is just you can just use a rush assassination on them, and they will pretty much get insta-killed with this. Or if you're pretty close to them and you get caught, you could still assassinate them while the bar is yellow. The whole meter bar that you can see that flashed white, yellow, then red. So when it goes yellow, it's still fine. You can still use your assassin abilities. Once it goes red, then you can't. You won't be able to use any assassin abilities. And then for my last perk, I just put into Arrowmaster. It doesn't matter where you put your last perk. You can put it wherever it pleases you. Either Arrowmaster, Beastmaster, Rain of Destruction, Multi-Shot, Spread, or Predator, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. But yeah, that's pretty much it with this whole build. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know down in the comment section. Oh, before I forget, the pirate set comes from the gods of the Aegean Sea, which is going to be located right down here. And all these guys, the good thing about these guys is there are no clues you need to find. The only thing you do need to do is you need to have a pretty solid ship. And if your ship isn't that great and you just don't feel like really trying hard, then you can just drop the difficulty down on easy and just fight these guys with your ship. And it's not like anyone's gonna look down upon you for going on easy difficulty for this, because who cares. But yeah, that's how you get the pirate set. And that's pretty much it with this video. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know down in the comment section. If you want to see more builds, or if you have any build suggestions that you'd like to see, also let me know down in the comment section. I will also be updating my hunter build now that I do have this weapon, or the engrave. And another engrave that I am also going for is going to be the boss damage and elite damage one. So I don't exactly know which one it was. It should be here somewhere, but it doesn't really matter. So it's either, right over here. So 25% damage on elites and bosses. So it's going to be really useful. It says it seek out a strange man on the island of Kyoto. And then another one that I'm looking for is 25% cooldown duration for all abilities. This one also is going to be really, really useful. And then the last one that I was going to go for was the 30% armor penetration. So those are the three that I'm looking for right now. I may go for the convert crit chance. I mean, I'm still going to go for this, but I don't know if I'm going to end up using it for this particular build. I may mess around with it, but those 3, maybe 4 are the abilities I'm definitely going for at the moment, or those are the weapons I'm going for at the moment. But yeah, that's pretty much it with this video. If you have any questions, concerns, let me know down in the comment section. If you liked it and you thought it was helpful, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. This is All Day in the Day 1 on the PS4. Have a good day, good night, and peace.
Better take a look.
This fort has seen better days. They should have spent some of that silver on upkeep.
What's that? Check the body. There must have been a fight.